Hello, my name is William Rindoni. Today I'm going to take you through a project that I started last semester in the VR project course and have since updated it. AltPhys. It was an alternate physics project, and thus the name. Um, it's demo version 0.2 because it's the second version that's mostly completed. So first, you're going to be show off with four options as the main menu. Mountains in the background. It's cool. There's quit, level select, physics demo, credits. Quit obviously takes you out of the game. Credits takes you to this screen. Is made by these people. This was the group that made it. I'm the William Rindoni. The project theme was an alternative physics model of Aristotelian physics. Our project advisor was Ole Molvig. So first off, physics demo. Just going to show this off. It's accessible from the main menu. The purpose of it is just to quickly, if the demo that I'm showing the game off is very quick and I need to show it off to multiple people, this is the simplest way to just show off the major differences. So you're presented with two buttons. This will do actions. This will change the setting of what is being shown. First off, this is the Aristotelian physics arrow model. So press the button. The one in the back is regular physics arrows. The one in the front are Aristotelian arrows. So you shoot them, and as we know now, horizontal motion in projectile motion is consistent across. It does not go down typically, but in an Aristotelian model, inertia is still factored into the horizontal distance even during the arrow being fired. So that's how you get the cool downward curve. Next is a model of how the elements work. Aristotle believed there are four elements. Whoops, there we go. There we go. Earth, water, air, fire. Earth wants to fall down naturally to be with earth. Water wants to fall downward to be with water, and hence it's in a layer above earth. Air mostly stays in place because atmosphere and air are all around us, and fire wants to go upwards towards the ether, thus it floats upwards. That's just to reset it. There's a block there to teleport you back to the main menu, or if you press the primary trigger, a menu will show up. It'll leave the options to show controls to return you to the main menu. This is the controls menu. Let you take a moment to quickly look at that. And so now return to the main menu. And there we go, we're back at the main menu. So level select, we have 2 pages of levels. Really 1.5, but it's about that. And so the tutorial is just a hard explanation of what controls are. When I demoed this multiple times, I was demoing to people who had never done a VR experience before. They weren't sure where any of the buttons were, and so I made this tutorial as sort of a quick, these are where all the buttons are. I'll take you through it now. I'm going to be quiet, but you'll hear my voice again. It's inside the game, explaining all the controls.
Hello, and welcome to the tutorial. Today I'm just going to take you briefly through the controls on how to play this game. Look towards your left controller. You should notice that there's now a rod sticking out of your left joystick. Pushing the left joystick will cause your character to move in that direction relative to where you're looking at. Feel free to move around a bit in this method to get accustomed to it. Great! Now, look towards your right controller. You should notice there is now a rod sticking out of your right joystick. The Oculus system works best when facing towards the sensors, so to minimize the amount of times you need to turn around, there is a rotate function built into the right joystick. Pressing the right joystick left or right will cause your field of vision to rotate in that direction. Feel free to try rotating your camera this way, now. Nice work! Now we'll be going over the important buttons that you need to know to play this game. Rods should appear on the secondary trigger on both of your controllers. Your middle finger should be resting comfortably on these buttons. The secondary trigger will be used primarily in picking up objects. By holding down the button, you will keep a hold of the object in your hand. Next, there is the A and X button. When not using your joystick, this button will be the one closer to your body, with it being X on the left hand and A on the right hand. Both buttons will be used in knocking arrows to your bow and changing the type of arrow that you wish to fire, depending upon which hand is currently grabbing the bow. If you're grabbing the bow in your left hand, you will use the A button to knock arrows, and the X button to change arrow type. If you're grabbing the bow in your right hand, you will use the X button to knock arrows, and the A button to change arrow type. Additionally, the A button will allow you to navigate menus when options are selected. Finally, there are the primary triggers on both controllers. Your index finger should be resting comfortably on these buttons. Pressing and holding either of these buttons will bring up the in-game menu. From this menu, you will be able to access a quick summary of these instructions should you ever forget, or return to the main menu. To select an option, simply move your right hand into that option and press the A button. Thank you for taking the time to play this quick tutorial. To play the actual game, use the in-game menu to access the main menu, select levels, and then start with level 1. I hope you have a wonderful day, and wish to thank you for testing out this game.
So there you go. Just a quick explanation of all the controls. And now we can start with level 1 proper, and I'll talk about various aspects about the game now.
Hello, dear pupil. I am Aristotle. Welcome to the Aristotelian Physics Lab, where you will learn how we perceived physics back in my day. For our experiments, I have given you a bow and arrow. Try to hit the targets on the floor by shooting them from afar. When you've turned all 3 targets green, you can proceed to the next level.
So that was Zach. He worked on the project last semester. He provided a majority of the voiceover for the game. This first level is rather simple. You take an arrow. So now let me talk about actually using the bow and arrow. I talked about this in the tutorial level, but I did not put a bow and arrow in, so because that focus on that was more so on getting accustomed to the layout of the buttons, while this level is more so actually implementing them. Zach says how to use the bow and arrow. You grab it with either grab button. It works either hand. Press the A button to attach it, and you release it to have it fire. Works with either hand. They stick in to most surfaces. Just a way to get accustomed to how the bow and arrow feels. These are regular physics arrows. We felt that the first level would be better testing out with the regular arrows starting out because that's what people are going to be more accustomed to, so we can introduce the weird physics in later levels. And so let me just quickly complete this level so that we can move on.
Hey, you did it! You turned all 3 targets green. Now let go of the bow. And so you've made it to level 2.
Level 2.
For this level, grab the bow and arrow again, and try to shoot the target at the bottom of the hole. You can't really get up close to it, but... wait a second. I've realized I've given you the wrong arrow. It's a regular physics arrow. While holding the bow, press X to change to an Aristotelian physics arrow. Their projectile motion will seem a bit strange to you, but should be effective for shooting the target in that hole. In my day, everything in the world was composed of 4 elements: earth, water, air, and fire. The light brown arrow you are holding is composed of Aristotelian earth. Its horizontal motion decays more quickly than in regular physics because Aristotelian earth is eager to move downwards towards the center of the world. You will learn about the other 3 elements soon.
So that was Zach again. I kind of cut him off in the last level. My bad. He basically just says, good job, move on to the next level. And so in this level, the ceiling is much shorter down, does lead to a bit of more claustrophobia. However, the purpose of that is so that you can't, no matter how you try and shoot, you're not going to be able to hit down this hole. In showing off this level, a lot of people were struggling with shooting down the hole. They didn't really understand how they were missing it and how to best adjust their aim. So we added a camera that's placed about right above the hole to give the best possible vision of where you need to shoot exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it for this level. So I'll just quickly complete it.
Ah, great job! You hit the target at the bottom of the hole using Aristotelian Earth. I am so proud of you! Now, the next level box is floating somewhere around here. If you grab it, you'll join me at the next level.
So yeah, the purpose of this level is mainly to show that the way these arrows work are the quicker decay with the horizontal motion, and also that you need to change the arrow type. Let me quickly show you can change it with grabbing it in this hand as well. All right.
In front of you, there are some buttons that have been activated by dropping Aristotelian Earth onto them. Use an Aristotelian Earth arrow to change that final box to Earth. The box is currently filled with Aristotelian fire. Fire rises away from the center of the world, that's why it's stuck on the roof. Change it to Earth, and it will fall towards the center of the world and activate the final button.
So yeah, as Zach said, this level is to show off. We're starting off showing what the various different elements do. So fire rises, Earth does not. These things, if you hit them, they'll also change, and you can see fire rises, Earth does not. That's basically the goal of this level. You just shoot that down.
Superb! You've completed
Show
the
off
level.
the buttons.
Now join me in the next
they
one.
match with what you need to get planned on them. You can also just touch them. Yeah.
So now you know Earth is the most dense Aristotelian element and fire is the least dense. I will now introduce you to the final elements, air and water. There are 4 Aristotelian air boxes floating around you. Air is more dense than fire and less dense than water and Earth. It just stays in place when surrounded by air. Water is less dense than Earth but will fall towards the center of the world just like Earth. Press X to change your arrow elements and match the boxes to their corresponding buttons.
So this is to introduce air and water. Air stays in place, water drops down, but again, it's stopped by water planes. Unfortunately, we didn't really get the chance to implement a meaningful use for water, and I did not feel it was important enough to do so in the second round of updates.
By Athens! You did it! Follow me to the next level by grabbing the box that appeared somewhere in the room.
Make everything simpler to use based on some feedback we had gotten from the first 2 rounds of playing through it.
This level is a little tricky, but I think you've been with me long enough to know what to do. I'll leave you to figure it out.
So this level is interesting. You go up, you're too tall. Even if you're a shorter character, you're not going to be able to go through. And so what you got to do is you got to use your noodle to make the walls fly up, so you can hit all the boxes. And there you go.
You did it! I knew I could believe in you! Now grab the next level box. We have one more level to go.
The main reason I'm being quiet so much is Zach did a lot of work with the voiceover, and I feel that it's important to get him to show off most of what he did.
You gotta use your noodle for this level. Good luck!
So, the classic problem of, well, if you look around, there's nothing really here except this. You see a conveniently placed hole, and so if you go over and stand on it and shoot it beneath you, it rises up, and hey, would you look at that? We're now on the 2nd floor, and there's a thing to grab. A really cool mechanic, and one that I added one more level regarding to it because it looked like a pretty cool idea. So in this final level, I'm going to show off a couple of things. So there's just a constantly falling thing. When it hits too low, it spawns down below, it goes back up. But another cool thing about it is if I can hit it, if it goes too high up, it starts falling downwards, or upwards, which is cool as well. So this is really, despite the fact these look open, you can in fact, they're invisible walls. You can in fact fall off at any point. But this is the one level where you can in fact fall off, and I'm just going to quickly demonstrate it. It's rather simple. If you get too far down, it reloads the level. And so the answer to this level is you gotta try and, there we go. I think this is too low, but I'm just gonna test it. Yeah, we're too low. So just gonna reset. So in this level, I knew that was gonna be a problem. So if you get it in a certain, it's much easier to hit it when it's coming upwards. If you get it within a certain range, the block adjusts so that it's easily to walk over. It's really cool that air is slightly transparent. Makes it so you can look around at the ruins underneath. Very cool. So next, that was it. That's
Great
the end of the
job!
main
You
levels.
finished all of my experiments. I'm so proud of you. Now, you get to enjoy vacation on my private island. Feel free to play around with all of the different elements and all the arrows that I've given you.
Yep. So that's about it. This is just a cool little room to reward the player for beating all the levels. You can, in fact, access this room from the levels. I'll quickly go back and as you saw earlier. So makes things a little jittery. Whoa. Okay. And so a couple last things to show off that are exclusive to the. So at any point in the level, if you press in on the joystick, this is not directly stated. It's more so a safety measure, so I didn't really feel the need to state it. But if you press in on the joystick, the bow reappears at your hand, rotates with your hand as well to make it slightly easier to just go into an insta-grab. Really helped in regards to playtesting levels as well. In this level, you get the magic arrow. The magic arrow is just, it takes it up a level. So if it's on earth, it turns it to water. If it's on water, it turns it to air. If it's on air, it turns it to fire, and fire turns back to earth. This is only in this level because it's not really an element, but I thought it was a pretty cool idea. Trying to skeet shoot as well. There we go. These also follow. This level is really the only place the player character, the main, you also get access to the regular arrows again. And this level, before I made the demo level, was the best place to see the difference in firing. And it's really helpful to see that arch. And the weird path it takes in this level. And so, yeah. Additionally, last thing I'm going to talk about is an additional failsafe in the case that the main menu, it does work in every level, but I also made a failsafe in the case that, so when I was demoing it, I believe the first time, which was at an honors festival or something, I noticed that a lot of people, in between playing settings, I'd have to reset it up to the main menu. And when you take off the headset, the screen goes completely black. And so I decided to add in a way to go back to the main menu without looking at the screen, which is if you hold all four trigger buttons down and wait 5 seconds, it should take us back to the main menu. Yep. It's just a simple thing that, based on the 2 times I've demoed it, was a nice feature. And yeah, here's the second page. And so yeah, that's about it. It was really fun to work on it. I'm just really glad I got the chance to. It was a lot of fun. That's all.